Hi folks, I think it's another time for an opinion piece. I think you're all pretty well aware of my position. I was calling for it 18 days ago that mandatory masking should be brought in the UK. This seems to be going out all over the world, quite frankly. And this country continues to ignore that. I was actually driven to make this because of this ridiculous article today in the BBC. Coronavirus, masks for public could put NHS supplies at risk. Now, the whole argument has moved on to whether we should be using cloth masks. What has that got to do with NHS supplies? Absolutely nothing. They are still bringing out these ridiculous old arguments that you might be contaminating yourself. See, the problem is, how many million times do you have to say it? The whole idea of wearing cloth masks, is to protect others. If you go into a bus, everyone's wearing a bus, then you drastically reduce the amount of virus particles going into the atmosphere of the bus. It's not the protective effect of just wearing it against stuff coming in, but when the level of that stuff is reduced anyway by the fact that everyone is wearing a mask, then it's clear it's going to have a major effect. It's a physical problem. There is little doubt that there is a relationship between the amount of virus particles impacting on your nose or your mouth and whether you're going to get sick or not. Everything that happens after that is completely irrelevant to this argument. The point is to decrease the physical number of virus particles that will get to your mouth or your nose or your eyes. And the way to do this, get everyone to wear masks. You still hear the old and false claims, by the way, that the WHO is still saying that we shouldn't wear masks. That is not the case. They have moved to a point of neutrality and giving advice where authorities choose to advise their citizens to wear masks. That is how the WHO position has changed, and it has changed. Read it if you want to. It's out there on the internet, and people are giving misinformation. Part of the problem, I think, is that we're relying on the advice of advisors who have invested a great deal of their own reputations in the advice that they are giving. Now, I can tell you that these people are not the most reliable people. I used to work as a scientist, and one of the reasons I left was because I was fed up with the whole political situation of doing science. When a scientist develops a technique or whatever, and he's based a whole load of results that he's produced on the results of this technique, and then you show that it's flawed in some basic way, of course he's always going to try and defend it, even when it's beyond rational, because his own reputation is on the line. And this is a very similar situation. You have advisors who have put so much of their reputation on the line about giving the advice, and they know that if they're wrong, they'll be screwed, as will be the politicians who rely on their advice. They are protecting it because they think they can shimmy their way through this and everything will be all right. So anyway, that's my position. Have a nice day and mask up.